We're live.
All right then.
Oh, I have.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Whoa.
It's not Q&A time. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
soon.
yet.
Trademark.
Soon.
How do you get more Domo coins? Asked Mr. Brian, 2013. You must watch and watch hard. This is
The
how you
closer
do it.
your face physically is to the screen, the more coins you make.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a fact.
It's legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got so many coins. Is I literally put my head through a monitor.
And it made his hair grow.
I don't believe that that's confirmed, but it is a planned feature for the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Into the Portal, an EQ Next podcast. And we are joined tonight with a full house. We have 850 topics to talk about and 850 hosts or guests, or however you want to pronounce it. Whatever it is.
10,000 tons of ice cream.
Down those balloons.
You're a bad egg, Locke. You're a bad egg.
First, we have Mr. Tobran Jaffa Tobran.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
That's his hip hop
It
alias.
is. What's up, Tobran?
Stage name.
Tobran Jaffa Tobran. Then we got Mr. Lock 6 Tool.
What's up?
What's up? Mr. Stockus, Deadly Ninja Assassin Stockus. We got Snowman Wilkie. First time on the show tonight. And
Isn't he supposed to
Mr.
be Frosty, the Frosty Snowman Wilkie.
Frosty the
Community
Snowman
hero.
Milky. Okay.
He's been with us from the start. First time on the show. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, he's
Thank you.
He's been
Thank
following
you.
us around and chatting with us in the forums over at EQ Nexus for 10 months. Who knows?
Every which way, yeah.
Exactly.
12 years
12 years at least.
since I was at school.
And Mr.
Longer than I've been born, since the beginning of time.
before you were born. And finally, Mr. Reese's Pieces legendary neurotoxin Nagafin Hatman.
Woo!
Go.
No, go, Fen. No, go, Fen.
Oh, wow.
I finally saw what was under that Nagafin hat, and I was amazed.
You don't want to see the hat off, no.
Just keeps going.
Well, you know what? I didn't change the topic. Lovely. Let's fix that.
Post-patch play.
Yeah, we're not doing post-patch play.
Yay.
We're not doing that.
Okay. Well, so I welcome everybody. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, talking about a bunch of stuff tonight. I do have some codes to give away for the Prime Grappler. So I'll be doing that a little bit later. And, yeah.
Is there anyone, can I ask chat, is there anyone who doesn't have a Prime Grappler still? Can we just, if anyone hasn't got one, can that be the competition?
I actually had a stream the other day. Yamino came in and gave me a Prime Grappler code to give away. The only person in the stream who didn't have one was Comrest, and he declined it because he doesn't actually use the Grappler hardly at all. So it's like, I was sitting there with the Prime Grappler. It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I think I still have it. I don't think I've given it away yet either. So, you know, future stream. Yeah, it's. I'm very surprised at anybody who doesn't actually have one at this point. It's surprising.
They're all disappearing in 2 weeks and a couple of days, aren't they? So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
get them while they're hot.
You could at least say you had one.
Yeah.
Not only that, though, but the Prime Grapplers aren't all that much better than the Viridian Grapplers. So if you've played so much without one, and you've got a Viridian one, what's the upgrade then?
It's like 20 extra feet, I think.
Yeah,
That is the major
huge
difference.
At that range, it's like, okay, I can grapple from one end of my claim to the other, but how much space is actually going to be open like that?
For me, it's like I still get a little bit of the loading bug. So if I use the Prime Grappler to travel to, it's like, welcome to the desolation.
Well, that's the thing is when you have the loading bug going, but you still see objects nearby, you can grapple from one to the other, so you can keep on going even if you've got the gears going, and potentially grapple yourself past whatever you're trying to load, whatever awesome claim was nearby.
Past the plane of existence.
Yeah. So it's a way to keep on going, even if you've got the slow travel because of the gears, and it's something I'd recommend getting really used to, because once we have a big old train of creatures chasing us, and those gears come up because a bunch of awesome claims are everywhere, that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to save yourself from getting eaten.
So I guess nobody wants a Prime Grappler.
Someone said they wanted it.
Do we know if creatures are gonna be tethered or not in the wild?
Well, I'm hoping the plants don't run around.
Nothing's going to be tethered in the wild.
Dave the Triffid.
Are you sure?
That's the point of the emergent AI, is everything has its own, needs and survival instincts and such.
I think plants' needs are to keep roots.
Yeah, well,
That's the point, actually. I suppose, will the AI get to a point where it gives up chasing you?
Potentially. I don't know if it's the sort of thing where maybe if a creature runs out of stamina, they'll break off.
No, it's none of that. It's when they start seeing gears in their lower right-hand corner that they stop chasing them. Because it's like, okay, I guess I should stop.
Iron Golem walking along. Oh shit. Fuck. Whatever. I'm just gonna go back.
Turn around. I stop chasing these gears will go away.
I got a pot of coffee on.
Yeah, train to zone.
Train to zone.
So
who's gonna be a first person to make a train that goes all the way around a zone and just spends the whole day just going around shouting "Train to zone, train to zone,
train to Nexus"?
No, there's going to be a community project to make like some sort of 50 claim long track that goes from arbitrary awesome point A to arbitrary awesome point B, where they built it up and made it awesome.
Weirdly, one of the first points I made about Next when they were talking about the rallying calls and stuff was how awesome would it be to make like transport networks between cities and stuff. And this is you see,
you can do a monorail.
Now I want them to link the islands in Landmark because I want a guild to go nuts, just like make like train tracks or canals or something. That'd be incredible.
So
should we talk about a topic?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Aiden says, if mobs don't have leashes, I'm training everything to Geekdomo.
Nice.
Train to Domo.
There you go.
Train to Domo.
So
because griefing.
Because griefing.
So what is our first topic going to be? Are we going to be just kind of covering what's going on over the week?
Let's talk about
So the kind of the stuff that was posted during the week from SOE, there was Landmark Live episode 6, and I have a little recap of that we might go over later. There was the roundtable on the crafting system that was put up about which part of the crafting system are you the most interested in discussing. And of those, there were 4. It was item upgrading, item imbuing, reinforcing, and refining. And that's probably a discussion we'll get to a little bit later on, because that one's a pretty big one. I had a lot to say. I actually posted on that one too with a lot to say. Curse / EQ Next fans has this video series contest. If you post on their website with the videos that you've made, and if they like them, they'll put them in the series, and the one they like the most, the one that gets the most love from the community, the winner gets I think a Titan graphics card.
Nice.
So that's pretty worthwhile. So if you're a video maker and you want to get yourself some sweet hardware, definitely check it out. Show off some. It's not just for video makers. It's to demonstrate the techniques and stuff. So you got to have some skills too. You can't just be an awesome editor.
Yeah, skills are.
Yeah. So
3-minute long film noir about a voxel.
She walked in
I
my office.
I like the idea of the 3-minute long noir style video. I think that could definitely have legs.
That could work
as a guide series.
I've seen one like that somewhere on YouTube. I can't remember where.
Yeah. It's almost maudlin in how it looks too.
It's a good word.
Hey.
Like maudlin.
They're all like, oh, we want you to be creative. We want you to do everything. Oh, look, don't do that. we didn't mean that. Put it away. Put it back.
I liked it.
Yeah. So
liked it.
other things that were released this week. They've got a new shirt. It's just a EverQuest logo on a shirt. Celebrating Year of EverQuest. That's through Jinx. If you want to check it out and order one. They've got a new video they've put out about the Year of EverQuest. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Just came out today. A lot of people kind of telling their EQ stories and stuff put together into a video. It's nice. It's a good little recap of things. Worth checking out. And then there's one other thing. Oh yeah, they just had the roundtable response video about crafting and in EQN. Pretty much it was saying, yeah, you're definitely going to be able to learn all the styles of crafting on one character. We don't want you to have to make alts. Same as, pretty much with the character classes. They don't want people to have to make alts. You just do it all on one character.
Why not?
Well, because if you...
I'm just saying it's a good idea. Yeah.
It's the reason why is that if you just have the one character and you're building up here and there in the crafting, you're not necessarily going to be a master of anything unless you really hone and specialize for probably well over a year to get to the highest level with it and really understand everything about it, versus somebody that's got maybe 50 hours in woodworking and 50 hours in blacksmithing and 50 hours in this and that. They'll be good at the things. They won't be great. They certainly won't be making the absolute best stuff every single time. So that's the sort of thing they intend that, yeah, there will be I don't know if there's necessarily going to be a skill cap, but the idea that the upper threshold is really only reserved for the people that spend that amount of effort into it. So it doesn't matter if everybody can learn everything. You just have to specialize in one thing if that's the thing you actually want to be good at.
I totally agree. I really hope it's not the situation where everyone can be max at everything. Even though you can learn everything, like I would rather it to be, even if it's just like those upper echelons, like the last 5%. Which really it doesn't make a difference, but to MMO players, that last little squeezing the last little bit of juice out, I'm hoping that it's the case that it takes a lot to kind of get there, but it's not just like a box ticking exercise, where you go through each crafting thing, you go max that, tick tick tick, achievement, like that's. I think it's great with the horizontal progression system that they're allowing people to do everything, encouraging people to play one character. I think is interesting, but it's just the box ticking just annoys me.
Real quick, I just want to get a little update. Omid's here. Thanks, Omid, for coming. And first, before we even get into this,
who the hell is Omid?
Omid is becoming like Madonna. He has dropped Dariani from everything.
Yes,
on Twitter, he used to be Omid Dariani, and I had to learn how to spell his name when I first started tweeting to him and stuff.
Oh my god, I forgot. I spent after he changed his Twitter handle, I spent days just calling him Dariani, and I totally forgot about it. Right, from now on, new rule.
He's just
Rule
Omid.
3.
What's that?
Everyone call him Dariani.
From now on, okay. All right, so Dariani's here
just
tonight.
to confuse people.
At the rate that he's going, he's just going to, change his name one more time, and he'll be the brand manager formerly known as Omid Dariani, represented by a hashtag symbol.
Yeah. Hashtag.
I thought it was going to be something like Snoop Lion.
It's Onod. His new symbol is Onod.
Onod.
Oh no.
Yo, what up? It's Onod in the house.
I've called him that before as well, actually.
What's up, Onod?
When you first said he's becoming like Madonna, I said, what? He's dyed his hair blonde and he's wearing a bazooka bra or something.
Well, yes, that's pretty much his nightly outfit.
And
haven't you
with
been watching
everyone.
his streams?
Controversial in the 80s.
Yes.
Seeing what he wears, I'm
now-
sure he probably was controversial in the 80s.
Wow, just a shadow of his former self.
So,
Those pants.
Anyway, he's telling us that the servers are coming down at 3:30. I'm guessing that's their time. So everybody, the servers come down, and I don't know. Omid has not said what the change is, but
I think it's just bug fixes.
Just bug fixes. Is it going to How did you know what I'm
Hopefully
wearing?
it'll be tweakable.
let me get you a couple that I can think of right off the top of my head. So I made a Rubicite axe. It looks like a copper axe. It has the icon and the model of a copper axe. So not only that, they messed things up a little bit with Rubicite, elemental Rubicite. All of the elemental Rubicite in my inventory I couldn't find, and where it was located, instead it said coal and had, I think, the quantity of coal that I had. So that wasn't right either. In order to actually make the Rubicite axe, I had to go into the world and use my awesome discovery, so it didn't take very long, to find 20 elemental Rubicite, which is now actually a physical item in my inventory that doesn't go anywhere in the special materials inventory.
I think that's probably what they're going to fix with this patch.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure what it is. Those hopefully both of those things, the appearance and the weird elemental Rubicite.
But not only that, have you actually looked at the possible stats of a Rubicite axe compared to that of like the others? It's like a gold has a much higher rating than a Rubicite axe.
So
how does that work?
They need
No, the Rubicite axe is one resource rating higher. I've got them both.
Oh, sure, the resource rating is slightly higher,
And
but
the
the
stats
actual
are
damage
slightly
and
higher.
speed is slower then.
No, the stats for mine are slightly higher for both, but in compared to my legendary copper axe, they're both junk. The only reason why
But does it fall within? Do they overlap each other then? The stats is that how it is?
a little bit.
When I looked at it, the new stats for the gold axe, because they've definitely fixed those, are higher than any of the other axes. I mean, there's the potential for lower than, but definitely the highest potential of the gold is higher than any and all of the other axes that I saw.
Which is the silliest, because an axe blade made out of gold is about useless. Chop down one tree.
Is that in game terms? Do we definitely know that's not intentional? Do they want there to be a lot of overlap between them, or?
I mean, that would be an interesting way to do it if that's the kind of horizontal progression they're looking for. Is that, sure, you can have a badass copper axe. It can't chop down the rare trees, but all the plain trees, you can just chop them down just fine. Likewise, it might be the same. Sure, you might have the most legendary copper sword available, and fleshy, weak targets, you can cut them down like nothing. But when that iron golem comes through, you're just going to be bending your sword against them.
Yeah.
Well, I did wonder that, because I have got a copper axe, and there were a couple of trees I could not chop down. It told me I physically couldn't chop them down. So I thought, that's why they've got the different axes.
I couldn't even highlight them. That was the difference. It didn't say I couldn't chop them down. I physically could not highlight them until I had the correct axe selected.
Yeah, well, I had two. I had the one that I couldn't even select at all to even say that it couldn't chop it down, and there was one that I could select, but it wouldn't let me chop it down. So that's cool. I mean, if you need to have that better axe to be able to collect those trees, I mean, I can see that, but you would think there would be slightly other advantages other than just that to go into all that effort to try and get a bigger, better axe, I guess.
How are the stats compared to the Founder's pickaxe, though? Because that's the highest to the lowest.
Right. They did talk about this during the stream, the live stream. They said they really want to do something to make that more of a worthwhile thing. Like you could reskin, make it like a skin that you can put on your best axe or your best pick or something. Because
actually,
I don't even use the thing anymore.
I disagree that it's the highest of the lowest. My legendary axe, or my legendary pick, my legendary axe, it might have, maybe a little bit lower maximum stats, but what it has that the Founders doesn't have is discovery. And, up until recently, discovery was a big deal. Now, I really don't know.
That axe is copper axe, though, isn't it? The lowest axe would be a stone axe.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the copper axe.
No, but Reese, remember the pickaxe that we got, the Founder's one, it's supposed to be able to chop down any tree, but it's supposed to have crap stats.
Oh,
that's the whole point of it, remember?
Yeah.
Does it chop down every tree? I haven't tried it.
It's supposed to be able to.
Yeah,
that's what they said originally.
It's like the pick is the highest of the lowest, and the axe is the lowest of the highest.
Yes.
So... yeah, that's how it works. So the axe can chop everything, but not very well. And the pick can mine quite well, but not many things, I guess.
People gotta go. I was copying the keys from one of the other screens, and people were like, "I saw those keys."
I saw parts of them.
Take them.
Take them all. Take us, run away with them. Give them and sell them out to the internets. I was just trying to
there
grab
are still people. There are still people that want. Oh no, it's the same two people just spamming. I loved it in chat earlier. We had two comments next to each other. That one said nerf the copper axe, and the other one said save the copper axe.
That was awesome.
Right next to each other. I was like, that just says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And while we're talking about the axes, I'm just going to talk real quick about what they've done with wood. So now every tree gives you logs. You get a few logs per hit, and when you finish off a tree, you're guaranteed 1 heartwood. The ones that you require better than a copper axe for give you different types of things that aren't heartwood. That is palm hearts, thistle seeds, serpent resin, spindle cones, and ancient rootstock.
I could not find any of that stuff.
Right now, the palm hearts come from the little palm trees you find in the kind of the beachy and deserty areas and the transitory areas between them, and you need 2 of those per what is the wild heartwood that you're going to make. You need an alchemy table for that. Come to my claim at Courage Kettle if you need it. I've got it unlocked and available for anybody that needs any of the crafting stations. And then the thistle seed is those flat, weird trees in the desert that have those broad lily pad looking leaves on them.
Yeah.
And the trick with those, go out to the fringes of whichever island you like the most, collect as many as you can, find an area where there's a lot of them, and then once you've done that, log out, log back in on a different server, and go all the way back through. You can go 5 times through all the different servers.
He's teaching us how to exploit. Ban him.
Ghosting.
That's not an exploit.
Server ghosting.
It's built in the game. It's built into the game. It's built into the game.
Listen, Legendary, you're just basically telling us how to do stuff like they did in DayZ. Like, this is how you farm for sniper rifles. You go from server
This is why we can't have nice things.
I have nice things.
I will say, I did get off a tree today. I got 2 of the hearthwood, which I assume is intentional. I only had like 6.8 discovery or something, which obviously isn't very high, but I did have more on my axe. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm just saying I got 2 of the hearthwood out of a tree, so I assume that discovery affects it, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong.
Clever use of game mechanics. See, now you got fans there. Tarragon Dragon loves you.
That's how I roll.
Clever use of game mechanics.
Like, that's how I am. Stat maxing,
That's why before you know it, they're going to be like, okay, you can't immediately travel to different servers. There has to be like a 5-minute cooldown between. It's because of people like you, man.
Well, that's why
we can't have nice things. Why they can't trust us.
That's why I do it in the alpha, so they can weigh on, that sort of thing before you've got entire guilds going like, all right, we got all the copper on this server. Let's go to the next server.
Got 100 people just training for all the different islands. Oh, well.
Of course, I don't know if it'll be like that when they actually get the full interconnected island sort of thing. I don't know if I'll be able to kind of exploit it in that sort of way, or if I can, it might not be the same sort of results. Like, sure, I've gone to that same desert, but this time there's some sort of tiger battle arena in the same place, and I just happen to log in the middle of it and get eaten by tigers.
I suppose
probably not as good.
It seems like long term it's going to be exploration that is going to be the sort of the leveling. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, it's going to be exploration because the rare stuff we'll obviously have to find. I think at the moment there's still so few biomes and so few areas that are possible to go in. All the materials are on the surface. Everything's still right there in front of us. But I think as things kind of open up, they won't have to have so many rare materials in such a smaller area. Plants are going to come from different things because we're going to have the sickle as well, aren't we? Yeah. So yeah.
I think the other thing is with
liquids as well, and so much.
With a group crafting system, if there's a guaranteed heartwood at the end of every tree with a group, instead of just the one going to the one person, everybody that put a hack in it will get a piece of it at the end. And so just being in a group, you're going to greatly increase the amount of material you're getting, even if you're just taking like the tiniest little wood chips off with your piddly little axe.
Well, if it's taking you a quarter of a time to chop the tree down and you're getting the same amount of hearthwood, that's how you end up with trains of 100 people going from tree to tree.
Yeah, but then it's more efficient.
It will happen.
Isn't that what they want? Don't they want the group crafting to work like that, or the group harvesting rather?
Yeah, I just think it's the same thing again, though, isn't it? It's why we can't have nice things. But I think you can't stop people from taking the most optimal path for doing what they want to. But I think when is it a designer's job to step in and go, this isn't the spirit of the game?
There's a simple workaround for it. Just multiply the amount of heartwood that you get and that you use by 10, and all the things that you need to use to work with it, like the thistle seed and that stuff. Multiply those values by 10, or make it that you process 10 at a time instead of 1 at a time. But the idea is that Reese, no, hold on. You got to let me finish, because the idea is
don't let him finish. No man, jump in.
Multiply it by 10.
Hit him with a chair.
Take it, sneakers.
Get the chair.
Multiplying doesn't work for the people that only farm by themselves.
Well, hold on. That's the thing.
You're funneling people towards the playstyle instead of away.
Multiply it by 10, and then everybody who chops down that tree gets a piece of that 10, not their own individual 10. That's what I was getting to before you jumped on there. So that way you don't need to have everybody getting one heartwood, so you don't have a giant train. 100 people chop one tree, there's only going to be the 10 heartwood no matter how many people chop at it. So the giant train wouldn't.
Why'd you have to multiply anything then? Why can't you just say the tree will only ever drop a maximum of 10 heartwood no matter how many people chop it? So if there's 10 people chopping it, everyone gets one. If there's 11, 10 people get one. If there's 12, 10 people get one. If there's 13, 10. If there's 100, 10 people get one.
What I'm saying is because right now you only get one per tree, and so if you've got 10 people chopping at it, only one person's going to get it. The idea is that
but that's what I mean. If they're grouped, then everyone gets one. I'm saying like you don't have to multiply the values. All you have to do is put a limit on how many heartwood the tree will drop.
What he's complaining about is that there's only one that's going to drop per tree, regardless of how many people hit it. So if you've got 100 people hitting it, only one of those people is going to get one of those heartwood.
Or
I thought we were talking about the maximum values, though.
More what I'm worried about also is people who play League of Legends. They're just going to be there sitting at your tree. Last hit, and they're just stealing all your heartwood because it only produces one. So that's another way to counter it. I don't want it that you have 50 people getting heartwood from one tree at a time.
Isn't it already set up right now to where if you're already tapped a tree, don't you? Isn't it like somebody else can't tap it, or?
I don't know that anything like that.
Yeah, I've found that if you start chopping a tree and then you don't finish chopping the tree and someone comes along and tries to finish that, if you're still in the process, of that mechanic of chopping the tree, they can't actually jump in. Once you walk away from that tree, I'm pretty sure they can then just come up and finish it off.
They get the animation that they're chopping it, but I don't think they get any stuff.
Yeah, if you're still, according to the game, if you're still chopping the tree, that's what they call it these days. Someone else can't come in and then finish it off while you're chopping. That mechanic
it'll be different when groups get in, though, and it will be able to...
Well, it'll be like a permissions thing, though. I guarantee you it'll be a permissions thing. If you're in the group of 5 for harvesting, then anyone in that 5 will be able to chop down, but some random probably can't come up and then just start chopping because the group system's been enabled. But you have to be part of that group where everyone's friends and they're ready to go, and otherwise people are just going to rock up and start stealing everyone's stuff.
Yeah. There's going to be in-game VoIP as well, isn't there? So there's just going to be one guy going, "Dude, bro, we're harvesting the trees around here right now. Find your own place to harvest. You don't know who you're dealing with right now.
Nah, trees, man.
I'm gonna kneecap you with
these rare trees, man. You don't know who you're messing with. It's bearded warriors. Bearded warriors.
We're gonna take you to the
just keep walking. Maybe you try one of them old jungle desert biomes, huh? Maybe you'd be more comfortable over there.
If you're not careful, you'll find yourself under the tree.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, see?
Speaking of which, speaking of the bearded warriors thing, Tobran is starting to spout sprouts.
Yay!
Actually, he's
Come
almost
on,
catching
Stacks.
up to you, Stockus. He's getting close to you. Look at that.
That's all right. See, mine grows to about this and then stops. It does not get any longer. That's about it. It's not going to get much longer than this. So I quite hope that Tobran does overtake me. I really do.
He's Scottish.
Mine
He
actually
can
grows
move.
up from my chest, so I'm really fat, long enough to reach my face. It'd be so awkward if it was just like a couple of inches too short. I'd be like this all the time. That's all right.
I gotta mention
guys.
something else that we totally forgot in the beginning of the show. Everybody, we're looking for questions because there's only been one so far. So if you have any questions of us, including the guy who asked about the porn, which I banned, but any other questions are good too. So just type in questions and put it in brackets, and then we have an excellent moderator in the chat, Miss Maka, and she will grab them and put them into our Skype chat over here, and we can get to the questions as we get to them. So please do.
What was the question about porn?
He was asking us how much porn do we watch a day, and I thought, that's a good question. You can go around the room and discuss that, but we'll get to that maybe some other time. All right,
It's not very
Alright.
interesting. I'd rather talk about EverQuest next.
Yeah, me too. All right, so the next topic is the marketplace. So everybody got a chance to see it. If you did not get a chance to see it, let's talk about how to fix it. How do you fix it? If you open it up and it's a black screen, what do you do?
Run
Run
landmark
as
in
administrator.
administrator mode.
Right click on the
yeah.
icon.
I didn't know we were busting out the pipes.
Who's got
I don't have a pipe.
Everyone's
I'll get
smoking
mine.
weed. We're all stoned on the show.
I wish.
First of all,
Alright.
everyone had a beard, and then I caught up and got a beard. And everyone's got a pipe. Now I need to get a pipe.
Everyone-
What's going to be the next thing?
Why are you wearing a beard with no pipe? Have you no
See?
concept of health and safety?
I think what happens next is we're going to be putting on goofy glasses.
Oh no.
No.
Mine are
Sorry,
upstairs. They're in my
Reese,
bag
that's
from my
not
holiday
gonna-
already. That's not fair.
Are you sure?
How about
I don't have novelty glasses. I wear real ones.
Exactly.
hay fever medication? Yeah.
Use
just-
Lock
let's
brand.
just pick up
Hay fever
things,
show,
medication.
Brand placement. That's going to be the next thing.
A bow tie that I wore in a video and no one saw because my beard's too long.
Put it in your beard.
I didn't even
in the-
realize
no.
you were wearing a dress shirt until you moved at one point, and I saw the collar underneath it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
there's
it
no
just
point in
looked
wearing a
like
dress shirt anymore.
white
Fuck.
sheet.
It's a nice Fred Perry shirt. I was becoming very conscious that I can quite easily look like a mad homeless man if you can only see this part of
That's
me.
what you are in your spare time.
Well, no one
Part-time
knows
hub.
that this is just like this is just a backdrop.
All right,
Let's
so
not
we
do
totally
that.
derailed
Not a
here.
mad
I'm buying some bins.
Oh, I got a new follower, Bloodmyth. Thank you, Bloodmyth. All right, so
Someone follow.
one follow. There's like 300 people watching and one person followed. It's okay. I love everybody. It's all right. So let's talk about the marketplace. What do you guys think? So now you can buy all kinds of goodies. Like if you're too lazy to go out and dig a piece of copper up, you can buy the copper with real cash. That's 1,000 SC for $10. So if you want to buy, I think a stack of copper ingots is like 500 SC. So that's $5. Am I doing the math right?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So
Numbers.
it's people with more money than time, I guess.
Well, I think that's what it's aimed for.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
If you don't want to spend the time in the game doing the hard yards, that it's going to cost you.
Well, there's that. The angle that my brother always uses is, well, if it's you work 40 hours a week and you earn $25 in 1 hour, then what's 1 hour's worth of your time in game? Is it worth $25? So are you willing to spend $25 for goodies so you don't have to spend an hour or maybe multiple hours because you're not as efficient in game as you are at work, relative to value. So
I mean
that's
that value will be different for everyone as well. I mean, it's such a subjective thing, but ultimately, like I think it's great that we can buy resources because it adds value for everyone. Like people having access to resources always add value to the game. So anyone who buys anything, like whether they sell it in the trading thing, whatever, like in our however we're gonna sell stuff for currency, like whether they do that, whether they build something with it, it's always gonna have value for everyone. So I'm really glad that we can buy resources. I think it's a good thing. Just saying.
You haven't missed much of the show yet, Daystars. We started a bit late because these guys overseas, they didn't change their clocks yet.
I bought something.
What'd you buy?
From the marketplace.
Did you buy an outfit?
Yeah, I bought an outfit.
Some swag?
I bought the purple Victorian gentleman's outfit.
It would fit you perfectly. It fits you perfectly.
Have some of my station cash, Mr. Smedley. That'll do just fine.
Well, see, if everyone doesn't realize this, but Sony pays us 10,000 SC per minute doing this show, so we're just rolling in the dough.
You only get 10,000. You're getting robbed.
I am getting robbed.
Wait, you guys are getting station cash?
It's a Friday. Domo does a little dance. No, you get paid Jaffa cakes.
I get paid Jaffa cakes.
Yeah.
You guys get station cash.
Wait, you getting station cash?
Not only does he get Jaffa cakes, he gets tours from Pentapod.
Yeah, he gets personal tours of the
of the area. Hey!
Okay.
I'm supposed to dance because I'm a little monkey.
Oh.
Every time a new follower shows up, I'm supposed to dance. The purple Victorian outfit, Blood Myth bought that one, and Tarragon Dragon bought the red Victorian outfit. It's very lush.
Yeah, the red one's. Nice. I can't resist a purple outfit though.
No, that's the way.
I don't know any man that can resist a purple outfit, to be honest.
Definitely not Prince.
I want to change the Tech Commander's outfit to be purple, but just the red parts. Otherwise, I want to keep it intact.
That's something I want to bring up. So now they got these outfits in there. The outfits look great. I love them. They're all pretty cool looking. But now we have our older outfits that aren't really as detailed as some of these new ones that are coming out, and I'm starting to go, will they ever upgrade them or sort of tweak them a little bit to make them just that much more special? Because right now they're sort of they were the starter outfits. Everybody got one, and they're sort of plain looking compared to.
Everyone's got one now.
Right.
Give it a month. I think as far as detail goes, I think they're nice. I think they're different. They're probably we're used to seeing them, so the novelty's worn off.
I can't wear the fantasy one. The fantasy one is terrible. I'm sorry. That collar comes up to your forehead. No, it's bad.
Oh, the cape's so good.
The cape's cool. I like the cape. I just don't like from the shoulders up. That collar comes
the
above
thing right here.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
I can see them adding a station cache option to change the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors of outfits.
That's a good idea.
No, we saw on the crafting thing though, didn't we, that colors are going to be an element of the crafting system? Is that still true? Because if something's
will that affect outfits? Because those are pretty much station cache mostly.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, you can buy different color variants of the outfits already, can't you? Which is something I kind of it did make me wince a bit, just kind of being like, oh, there's different versions that are different colors.
Yeah, me too.
It kind of made me go, that's.
I would agree with you, Locke. No, I'm not fine with it really. Once again I go to DCUO as the absolute best model I've seen in any game for how the aesthetics work and how the aesthetics versus the actual stat equipment works. And I feel like that's a good model to go from, rather than because just giving people the full versatility and variation, and then making it that maybe there's some certain special things that you have to pay to have access to. That would be fine. Even if it's just a limited palette that I have access to and I have to pay for different colors, I would even take that. That would even be, leaps and bounds better than having to buy every individual outfit in different colors, or potentially have to craft them in their own individual colors, or buy one and dye it different ways. That's all like silly, and I'm honestly going to say old-fashioned. Especially it feels like kind of not fully old-fashioned, but one of those kind of gougy things that was going on during this transitory period from the fully subscription model to mostly free-to-play games that we're seeing these days. I think
if you look at it, like how many extra outfits do they think they're going to sell from the fact that you
I
can
wanna
only
see
have one
500
color
outfits.
variant of
I
it.
want to see 500 different outfits. I really do.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like, how many people do you think will go, I really love the Victorian gentleman's gear, but I want a red one and a blue one, so I'm going to buy both. Like, how much extra money do you think, compared to how much money they could make from the cash shop if it sold materials for dyes?
Or even
Just,
you just,
you know, to me, like, if you want to look just as business, not as, you know, not as like being a player, I'm just saying, if SOE, like, they're saying they want to be like the cool guys and they want to, you know, have a really fair like monetization system. I think this is probably one area where there's a little bit of wiggle room to make things.
I like your idea better, because I would rather have dyes that are sort of in my like inventory, separate inventory window, and instead of having 15 different outfits in my inventory. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing is, craftable dyes at the alchemy table, if players can craft dyes for each other to use and it becomes another consumable item, it's another thing for players to do. It increases possibility space.
But what about if you have the rare dyes, like the
niche
black?
For players to inhabit. It's something for them to go really deep into. But at the moment, we've got this system which doesn't. It's not quite, you know. It's not cool, is it? It's just not cool. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to buy one, like, because I'm looking at them and I sort of thought the same thing. I saw 4 different colors, but they're 1,000 cash each. I'm like, but which one do I want? If I had the chance to buy one for 1,000 and then pay maybe another 100 or another 200 for the ability to maybe change it between 3 or 4 different colors, I would probably go, yeah, okay. I would spend a couple of extra $100 to be able to have the opportunity to select and change the color that I want it to be. Like, if I feel like having a red one this time, I'm going to select the red one this time. But I've paid that extra money to be able to do that. And then, make some palettes or some dyes unable to be bought, and they have to be found or made in game, so you can still have that factor of people collecting rare dyes or rare colors and using them, so it has that sort of exclusivity to it, but at least giving them the basis.
I like the idea of exclusive in-game things as well as exclusive marketplace things, because there's a lot of people that think their efforts are completely devalued by the marketplace. You know, a lot of people would agree with that, and I think if there are still things that you can only get through work in the game, then a lot of people love to have that, don't they? They love to be able to look, there's only one way of getting this, you know, there's only one way of getting this, and I did it, you know, I didn't get my wallet out. I think that's cool. I think it's good for people to be able to do
got
that.
the good idea. Sell all the outfits as white, and then you dye them to whatever color you want.
Sure. And then you can buy special dyes or then find them.
Well, also another thing, once they've gone beyond dyes, they might be able to actually get to the point where you can put patterns and prints and stuff on your outfit. So instead of it just being a solid color for the different things, you can have it maybe, you know, alternating stripes, or it's got some sort of floral pattern or something going on.
I dib the Paisley gentleman's outfit.
I don't want to see people with no sense of style be running amok with textures and
mead pants.
Oh, of course, you want to see that. We want to see everything.
Everyone will look like a clown.
Mead pants. We need mead pants.
If everyone looks like a clown, then we'll be able to compete with World of Warcraft pretty well, won't we?
No, World of Warcraft, maybe in Burning Crusade.
Yeah, running through Outland.
Yeah.
No, even
a green pair of shoulders, a duck on one side, like all this crazy stuff.
Even the stuff from
go through the portal, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, and an hour later, you're like, what?
Even the stuff from the Warlock stuff, any of the Warlock stuff, the epic stuff from before the first expansion was straight clown status. It was just like bright neon colors, ugly gaudy shapes. None of it matched. None of it went well.
Okay, the stuff from Black Temple was really sharp for the lock.
Gamer Girl Power's just come up with a really good point of clan coloring.
Yeah.
Just guilds being able to like have their own kind of colors and stuff. Like, is that a system that's going to be integrated? Are we going to be able to do that?
Hey, thanks, Adventure.
Yeah, what's Adventure done?
They just followed me. I'm dancing.
OMG.
I'm milking a cow. That's the milk the cow dance.
Milk the cow dance.
I don't know why I even started dancing when they're doing it. I think I was doing it because I don't want to interrupt you guys while you're talking, but I want to and say thanks for following. So.
But Yeah.
What else
okay.
is coming to the
About
marketplace? What do you guys think? So we got. You can buy materials, you can buy clothes, and maybe dyes. What else? What do you think's coming?
Player Studio.
Oh, well, the Player Studio, yeah.
Player made things.
I will so buy a set of round staircases that fit inside my tower in a minute.
Spiral stairs.
Because I did some and it didn't go. Oh, thanks, Old Rocks. I got them to fit, but when I go to turn them, they don't line up right. And I want to. Here's the problem: until you can scale things, I don't think you're going to be able to sell that stuff. Because otherwise, how do you know it's going to fit yours? Like if you're buying something that's going to be a component in your house. Thanks, Indian Feather. That you can fit it in your house. How are you going to be sure it's going to fit? You know.
Well, they could do the PlanetSide 2 system where you can preview it. You can test it out for like half an hour or whatever.
Oh,
just
really?
to see if it fits. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
They
know
did that in PlanetSide 2, and if they do that here, that would work really well.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I think there's a limitation definitely with the selection tool because you're not only selecting what's actually there, but all the negative space around it. So if you're going to paste something in and you've already got your tower pre-built, is that going to destroy everything around it?
Oh no.
That's a good point. Because right now that spacing is critical.
Here's a good point. It is something. I know I've kind of hinted at it like quite a lot as we've gone on, but Player Studio, when it's just voxel based items, I'm wondering what. I mean, maybe I'm not creative enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the vision, but I'm wondering what kind of voxel based things players are going to be buying. Like what? I mean, like how about you guys say you're building something, you've got a big project, you're going down to it. What that you can make out of voxels, would you think, oh, I'll buy that from someone else instead of doing it myself? Or instead of one of my friends?
Well, I'm saying, if somebody like Dave Georgeson makes those nice micro voxel staircases. So, I'd probably pay $1 for that or something. I mean,
well, and it really all depends on how well the selection tool is going to work with pasting in stuff from Player Studio, because if it's gonna destroy everything around it, just pasting it in, that's not gonna be able to sell any bits and pieces of anything.
Coda Voss has the right idea. And Coda, of all the people I've seen on Twitter, your stuff is so amazing. But he's got the right idea. Is basically sell the whole tower with the spiral staircase, then you don't have to screw around with it anymore. That's a good point.
Yeah. The problem I have is I'm a bit stubborn. If I'm perusing the studio and I see something and I know in my mind that someone's had the ability to make that with voxels in game, and all it is a template that's being sold with you, and you use your own materials to then create that in game, why can't I make that? I'm not saying that I'm the most skilled, but I'm definitely going to try rather than, because that template size thing is a point. Like, how do you know that something's specifically going to fit or even match what you've already built? I mean, do you have to build an entire thing around something you've bought from the studio? But if I see a spiral staircase and I look at it and I think, I can see how they've done that, I'd rather just go back into game and spend 2 hours trying to build it myself.
Yes and no, but that's the thing. It's the 2 hours. Because I asked Dave Georgeson one night. I said, because he started streaming his very first stream. By the way, Dave Georgeson is streaming, guys, so you want to go follow him. He was building. He was on there. He's like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to build. I'm like, hey, Dave, show us how you built that thing. And I watched him for like 2 hours fumbling around with these microvoxels, trying to make it work. And I was like, Jesus, Dave, you've done it like 4 times now. If you can't do it, I don't even know if I want to even touch it.
Yeah, that microvoxel stuff is
fair enough. It's and that's the thing. Yeah, it could be one of those things where it might be, nearly impossible unless you really have, hours and hours and hours of experience, and then hours and hours of time to really get it to look, nice and perfect. But, I could see somebody making a good amount of money on Player Studio just selling maybe, 50 station cache a piece, the top part of a column, the bottom part of the column, and the center part of the column, so people can modularly make the column as tall as they need to, and put the tops and the bottoms however they want. Or maybe they really just like the top, they'll just put the top, and they'll put the top on the bottom as well, and maybe do something to differentiate it from the top. So that's the sort of thing I could see selling on Player Studio, and anybody could really do that sort of thing. Gears, I think we talked about last week, or somebody was talking about gears and wheels and various different mechanical looking things and pipes, making stuff like that and having it really nice and clean and shiny looking. Not that type of pipe stackus, like plumbing pipes. And I've seen, I think it was Codevos that I saw the like ducting and ventilation ducts and stuff like that. And that sort of stuff is really cool because you can get a modern or sci-fi look to go really well, or even get steampunk or like high fantasy gnome sort of stuff going. It's once somebody has made the things, they can put it up on Player Studio. You buy the stuff, you put it down, you change it to whatever material fits the stuff that you're building with, and you're able to do a whole lot of stuff with it. Especially if they actually do get voxel to prop features going later on, where you can actually make, you can get the voxel version or the prop form of the voxel that can be perfectly scaled.
Well, Reese, it comes back to the point, though, that there's still that limitation with the selection tool, because unless what is going to be going up on the Player Studio is going to be just the voxels and not the negative space around it that was selected when they saved it.
It won't be the negative space.
Well, but then why can't they get rid of the negative space on templates when we make those?
They'll be able to. It's a feature in progress. They're working on being able to clear the negative space. It's in the works. Now that's something I hope they have as a selectable thing, where you can have it give you the negative space or not give you the negative space, or even be able to, selectively give you one or the other. Because if I've got a Boolean select tool and I want the front of a statue, I don't want this giant block of emptiness behind where the statue wasn't at and have to clear that afterward. I just want to be able to take a nice relief of the statue, plop it inside the wall, and actually have it take the negative space from that relief and put it in there, so it cuts away any rock that would be there.
Or take this in another direction entirely. If they're going to make an option to not have negative space, have an option so that you make a selection and then you can actually reverse what is actually selected and what's not, and so the negative space becomes material and then what is there becomes nothing. So then you can make molds then at the same time to make it easier to make inlays.
Yeah.
A mold tool would be really interesting, actually. I haven't thought of that.
Or being able to, like, if you wanted to
like
copy a statue, it just copies just the voxels of the statue and nothing else around it. Like, you select it and you say, just copy that.
Yeah.
I think those are great ideas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Especially when liquids come in as well, it could be an interesting thing to have molds in that way.
Liquids are in.
Hamid,
right
get on.
That's the thing.
I don't know if Hamid's still here.
Liquids are in the game.
Listen to me.
Listen to me now and hear me later.
Tobin, what do you need to write down?
Things.
Words.
Get more Jaffa cakes.
You're not the only one who can do that. I just don't have the tools up to be able to do it at the moment.
Don't push me, boy.
Boy,
You're terrifying.
I've seen you down at the shops at the corner begging for change.
Write it down. I'm there now. I'm outside. The bins are over there. There's a lady looking at me. Oberon, write it down.
Oh, it's okay, Omid. But they were just saying something, and I was like, I don't think Omid was still here.
Writing.
And I know you're a busy beaver.
I'm writing things. Look at me.
Yes.
Got words on paper.
Yeah. Mold tool.
I thought you'd do the Sesame Street thing, where you'd take the Jaffa cake and write it on the paper. Need more Jaffa cakes.
I only have the box left. Everything else is gone.
Thanks, Mika, for putting in the link for the patch notes. I was gonna say we could cover them, but there's about 8.5 pages of patch notes. So,
yeah, here's where you big kids get to go and earn your big people pants and read them for yourselves.
Or, alternatively, you can watch Reese later on. I'm sure he'll go into it in detail.
He will.
4-hour stream where he reads them in detail and iterates every single point.
I should do a patch notes.
Oh, no, we gave me the idea.
That's a good idea.
No, it's a bad idea. Omid said it's been a hard week. I believe it because usually Omid's kind of chatty, you know, and he's been kind of like really like. I get a stressed feeling from I'm sensing. I'm doing the psych thing. I'm sensing Omid is really stressed lately.
Well, you know, you look at the patch notes and we joke, but there's a ton in the patch notes, and we know bugs are happening as they're obviously going to happen. But still, there's so much, and we know because they've said they're already behind. Yep. And they've said on or before the 31st for March, and you know, you look at the roadmap and you can see, you know, they're a little bit behind. You know, they're working incredibly hard. Sometimes things just take longer, so they're up against it, and they need our support now more than ever. So Omid, I still think you should resign.
Don't be hard on him. He's having a bad week.
Having this pipe makes me evil.
You are evil. You gotta raise the eyebrow when you smoke it too. By the way, you gotta like just like that. Yeah.
There you go. They got one of the things that I was talking about earlier in the in this little update though, which is the elemental rubicite will actually be fixed. So, hooray! Everyone will have access to their coal and their essence of earth again, and you won't have to collect elemental rubicite as a weird inventory, non-stackable or semi-stackable sort of thing.
Coal. That you didn't know that in the grand scheme of things, that's what happens. It's one of those alchemy things. Leaving your elemental rubicite in your bag long enough turns it into coal. All right, so we've reached our hour mark. We're going to go and start the Q&A time. And while that's going on, I'm going to be giving away some Prime Grappler codes in the background. So how this is going to work is I'm going to put up a code word in the chat. You just say the code word, it enters you into the drawing. There is no money being involved here, and no, there's no Domo coins for this one today, boys and girls. No Domo coins for this. These are the free codes that were given to us by Sony, so it's not just a Domo people thing. Although everybody is getting Domo coins right now. If you've seen that going up in the chat, everybody gets Domo coins. Domo coins are everybody.
Everybody gets paid.
Everybody gets paid. Money.
Am I getting Domo coins?
You are. Watch.
Yeah, if you're watching, Locke.
How do I check? It's exclamation mark.
Yeah,
what is it?
He's going to start the cascade of Domo coin spam.
It will go by in about 2
Do
seconds.
Do
exclamation point Domo coins. There you go. You got it.
Here we go.
And you have 25 Locke.
Oh, for a homeless guy, that's pretty good.
You can spend them down the store.
You know what? I don't think I've actually watched your stream that much since you've started doing it. So I think I should retroactively get about 4 billion.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I deserve.
Okay. So we have some questions here then. Topographic asks us, what are the bearded warriors building? Well, we haven't begun yet, but we have a statue of Omid, the likeness of Omid Dariani to build. That will be a statue of Tobra and Ernwood, but in the likeness of Omid Dariani.
Come on.
We'll have a big name tag that says Tobra and Ernwood over it.
Okay.
Domo. Sorry, I just saw Domo's added like 4 million Domo coins to Locke's account. Sorry.
I deserve them. I
didn't know the
All right.
There you go, Locke. Okay, Jesus, don't spend them all in one place.
He will.
Cheers, babe.
He's gonna get a trailblazer.
Now go ahead and type in. Now type in how many Domo coins you got.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I'll find something to do with them. Maybe.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna be giving away
maybe not next year.
We're gonna be giving away something massive, and he's just gonna show up and be like, "Bitches, throw it down."
All right. So other than the group project, we'll be doing what's everyone individually working on their own claims, their own personal claims.
I got a castle going up.
I'm doing a full. Well, we're trying to do like a full dwarven city at the moment. There's me and a few guys. We've kind of got all our claims on a mountain, and especially since we've had the added claims, it's like mine kind of starts at the bottom, and it's the sort of the slum part, and then the back is like a big kind of entrance. I'm going to start working on a mine soon. And then as you go further up, there's a kind of like it's the posher bit of the city plus like a gladiatorial arena, which looks amazing. We've got really cool pillars, and then right at the top of the mountain there's like a big sort of cathedral, and it all kind of goes down and like through the mountain. We want to get like as much of it inside as possible. So yeah,
nice.
I think
we need to do one show.
Pretty cool,
we should go around all of our claims on a show one time. Just do like a tour while we're doing the show in the background. I could be running around. We'll do that. We'll do that
Domo,
sometime.
you're a genius.
Sounds
Mine
like a
is
plan.
something fancy though. Like mine's just a
We
giant
have a crap
Jaffa cake.
shack.
Well, it's
Crap
a giant
shack.
Jaffa
It's
cake.
because you spend too much time looking at everybody else's claims.
That's true. Yeah, you
and
don't have much
rating
time
them.
for your own.
That voyeurism.
All right, everybody, we're giving away our first. Prime grappling code, and the word to enter is Crap Shack.
Crap Shack.
Crap Shack. Hashtag Crap Shack will enter you in. Type it in now.
Please don't build a crap shack. If you get a claim, build it up. Or at least do a cool sculpture like a Jaffa cake.
Yeah.
Stackus, what are you working on?
At the moment, I am in the middle of hollowing out my. I've got 3 claims back to back in the inside of an interior of a mountain close to Domo's claim. So I've basically got almost 2 full claims inside the mountain, completely hollowed out, and the
Nice.
last one's sort of half up and half down. And I've made an entrance down into it, and I've hollowed it all out, and it's going to be a ice cavern type tunnel system leading out to a giant open cavern area, which is going to be guarded by a giant ice golem. And then at the other side, there's going to be like a little win-win treasure chest full of goodies and stuff.
For some reason, I can only imagine the ice castle from, I think it was Dark World Level 5 from Zelda for SNES. That would be pretty epic to remake, but I don't think that's quite what you're going for.
No, it's going to be more,
This
more
reminded
sub.
me that I can't wait till we can have like mobs and stuff on the claim as
Yeah.
well. That's gonna be so cool.
That's
is
kind
pretty
of what I'm
awesome.
practicing.
Actually,
I'm practicing
the-
making a dungeon, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the mobs that we've seen so far just look brilliant. Like I love the Iron Golem model. Earth Elemental's great, and the Void Goliath was so cool. And you know the Chomper thing that we've seen as well. The animation's incredible. So I'm expecting
Yeah.
some pretty cool stuff.
Lisa has an awesome one. She's working on a 1-to-1 bird of prey, but since it's cloaked, nobody can see it.
Nice.
Lovely. I love it.
That's
Well done.
That's
Like,
great.
Mm.
I wish I knew
so-
some Klingon. I would.
Those will be some nice invisible collisions when when it's all finished.
Oh, Wolf is good.
So, yeah, I've got the thing that I've been working. I've been continuing to build up that kind of alien, kind of sci-fi-ish architecture. I've been building up a little bit more, working on some detailed inlays and stuff. Not sure actually if I want to do inlays or decals or some combination therein. Because both of them play with the light in different ways and kind of change the surface a little bit in different ways. But once the outside and some of the stuff inside is nice and detailed, the plan is going to be putting down a bunch of massive turrets all the way up all 4 sides, so it looks like a giant battle station. And at the very top, some sort of like thrusting, guidance, navigation, flotation systems and stuff. So it just looks like a giant battle fortress that's ready to take off at any time and start blasting its way through the world.
Cool.
good times.
That's snowman. You building a snowman?
You should
Yeah.
be the first person to do decaled inlays.
Decaled inlays. Oh, I'll give it a shot.
That's what you should do.
Mine is
You
taking
can
a
have
little
that one for free. I don't even care. You can put it on the player's studio. I don't mind. Just have it.
Mine's taking a little bit more time. I'm trying to get chains because what I wanted... I've already set my plots down, but mine's a little disjointed because I've got the one plot and then up and off onto the side. I've got my other 2 plots going straight up. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have this floating tower with a chain going down that you can walk up to it.
That's a good idea.
Nice.
Reminds me of BRD.
Yeah, the Black Rock Depths chain thing, I'm going with that, but then kind of a more of a Karazhan look for the tower.
Oh, all right. That'd be cool.
Yeah, chains are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You have to build them.
He did them.
You have to build them at a certain scale, otherwise they're really hard.
They're a pretty
You know
huge
what?
scale,
I'd
and
love
not
to
only that,
solve it.
but they're angled and they're diagonal. So
All the hard bits, all in one.
Okay. So
I'd really like to see props like just a length of chain with nothing
Actually,
on it. Or
not
like
even
a
a
plank
length.
of wood, like
Just-
Link.
just an individual link of chain link.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, good
maybe
point.
one iron a piece to make them, or you get 10 of them per 1 iron bar, or something
Yeah,
like that.
scale.
But you can scale them up really big, so you can actually make as fancy a chain as you're willing to sit there and make, because there's
Or
people that I'm sure
things
will
like-
sit there.
Like a
Make-
length of rope as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like you could just have like short segments of rope, and then you could have like different knots that you could put like within the segment. That'd be quite
Yeah.
cool. Like
That would be
because
pretty good.
that's what props are for, aren't they? They're things that you can't make out of voxels, and I think we're seeing a lot of people they want to be able to use pipes. That's another one. I kept thinking about that. I want to see some pipes.
Pipes in the game.
Yes, yep,
As Mel Gibson said in Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, yeah. That was Mel Gibson's probably
Let me
best role.
see your pipes.
Isn't that what he said to her at the end?
Yeah,
Isn't that what he said to the lady? I want to see your pipes.
something
Frankly, my dear,
like that. Give a pipe.
I want to see your pipes.
That sounds like an Australian version of Gone with the Wind. Show us your pipes. Oi.
And Donald Glover's there, like, oh, I'm too old for this.
I'm too old for this shit. Show me pipes. Too old for this.
Alright. So, Topographic asks us our second question. If we don't get multiple races, how will we riot? No, if we don't get multiple races, how about the idea of illusion potions that allow us to look like different mobs? I want to be a Skelly.
This is something they've done in previous games, so I don't see why they can't do it in this one too. It's just a matter of getting the animations for all those races that you can be turning into. That's the only barrier to it.
Maybe that's why I'm thinking later down the line.
If it works off a humanoid skeleton, if you know what I mean, like the humanoid architecture, then isn't it? So like they could make like you could make an XR skin, because an XR, I suppose they'd have to add the tail, but then that's not really much.
It'll only work if they've got the same proportions as a human as well. A dwarf would look completely different because the weight of their body and how long their strides and everything would be. You couldn't just take the human skeleton and squish it, get the proportions of the dwarf and expect it to look right. It would look, decent but amateurish. It wouldn't feel like a dwarf. It would feel like a little tiny squashed human with broken animations.
Who said it was just animations? Because Felgon's in the chat now going, it's just animations.
Just animation.
Yeah. Sorry, Felgon. We just sort of take all the work that you guys do and just sort of like go, oh, just do this.
It's
Fully negate all
That's
the
what I
work.
mean. It's like you could put a different skin onto the human architecture, couldn't you? It's not you could make a human green, with pointy ears, and
Why would you
that's
want that?
fine. Like so that's they could do things like I was thinking about this week actually, because I noticed in Landmark Live, like the name change, paying for name changes thing. I know we've talked about the DICE system and everything, but it's another thing that I just think it's fine and it's something every game does, but it's just not cool. Like the whole paying for name change things and like character recustomization.
Well,
like I don't really know what the justification for that is, other than they can.
Well, Locke, on the other side of that, though, what's the justification for someone wanting a name change? Are they trying to get away from a bad reputation? Are they just tired of their name?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, depending on what it is, I could see wanting name changes to cost more.
But my issue is that I don't think the reasoning should really come into it. I think it's just a question of like, if you're paying for a name change, you're not spending money on anything that adds to the game world. Like when I was talking before about like buying resources into the game, that adds value to the game for everyone, not just for the player that bought the resources. But when you buy a name change, you're paying for something that you've already got because you don't keep your old one. And I think I only thought of this because we're talking about like race changes and things. Like instead of just paying for a name change or a recustomization, why not pay for like a separate skin that you can step into and out of? So it's the same character, same progression, same items, in your inventory and everything. But you can just say, today, I'm not going to be Locke the Dwarf. I'm going to be Tobrin Unwood, the Human Ranger. I'm going to go talk to some lady.
Yeah.
That's how it goes down. But then, like, after going to that, I can still go back again. And I think within the context of Landmark, something like that, to me personally, makes more sense. You know, like I mean, even switching genders between male and female. You know, like what if you build one thing that you want, you know, you want your character to be a sort of masculine character within that, and you're sort of role playing that and everything, and you've got, you know, you've got a big beard and you're a blacksmith and you go, "Grr," and then the next day you go, today I want to build a princess castle and I want to be a princess. Should you have to pay to want to play a different character within the build? You know, they're saying all the time, we want you to be creative, we want you to build everything, do everything, create all this different stuff, but it's then why can't we do that with our characters at the same time?
Yeah, I feel like
that's just my sort of thinking.
I agree with you that name, gender, aesthetic are things that we should be able to change at a moment's notice, and which we actually shouldn't have to pay for. Partially because I feel like we should actually be able to use the station handle system, you know, for people who are really our friends, to be able to reveal that and be connected by station handles. So no matter what your character name is, they know what your station handle is. So, you know, they'll be able to see that it's actually you regardless. Now, the reason why for that is for particularly for role playing and for events and stuff. So let's say I'm doing what are those two plays that Picard was doing recently? It was waiting for Godot and the other one.
They did King Lear. Was it King Lear? No, it wasn't King Lear.
I can't remember what the other one was. But
Wait a second, did somebody just subscribe?
Wait for
Somebody just subscribed.
I just heard the ding.
Nice.
Quality content. Miscellaneous.
Anyway.
Thanks, Miscellaneous. Thank you. Hold on a second. Just gotta thank him.
Hooray.
Thank you for subscribing. Woo! Yes, I used the landmark, the EverQuest ding.
The idea.
Omid with a capital O for Omid immediately.
The idea is that if I'm doing different, you know, shows or productions and I'm playing different characters, they look different. Maybe I'm playing Juliet one day and I'm playing Othello later that day or something, and you know, that's a lot of station cash to have to blow on, having to keep changing the name, the gender, and the appearance of the character, when all I want to do is just perform for the people. So that's one of those things.
I suppose the argument for that is that since it's a free game, you can always make new characters. Like, you can make a new account and make a new character, but
and then you have to buy all the
it's just not
outfit
optimal,
for
is
it
it?
too. You have to buy all the outfits from scratch for that character.
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
That's the reason why it would really
just
hinder
being
them.
devil's advocate, Reese. I agree with you.
But then also, you can set up claim permissions in such a way that that new character you just made can access everything on your claims.
But now we're trying to solve problems that don't have to exist. You know, it's like
you're the one that brought up new characters.
What's that?
It's an interesting point of view, Locke, but you don't seem to be very well informed.
Dacus, I will come round to your house. Don't think I won't. I will brave the wilds of Australia.
Hey,
Will you really?
That was a reference to an awful conversation I had with someone that made me want to turn out.
Keep it for the after show battle on Reddit. You'll be able to get your shots in there.
Come on. Read it down.
Dude, maybe I'll start posting more on Reddit.
Okay, so
It's like when you go, oh, I quite like bananas, and then someone goes, what do you mean? Apples and oranges are rubbish.
Yeah.
And you
Excuse
go,
me.
I'm not. You go, I'm not talking about that, and they go, I win.
Right.
I win the internet.
So you can't argue against me. You can't talk. And it's
That's
like, well,
right.
it's not what I'm talking about.
All right, hold on real quick, guys. The next code is #ding exclamation point. #ding will get you into the drawing for another Prime Grappler. And before we do that, I want to let you know, everybody, that the Prime Grapplers are for alpha only. They're going to be going away in a couple of weeks, and then we'll probably get something more amazing and exciting. It's ding with an exclamation point.
yeah, the
Ding.
thing that comes after alpha Prime Grapplers is 1 week beta keys.
You got to have the exclamation point, guys.
Beta keys.
Yeah, beta keys. We're going to be giving away those. And then Omid says we're going to have XR mounts we're giving away for after that.
Inflatable XR mounts.
Inflatable
Yep.
XR mounts. They're going to be so
I just
epic
picture Reese having one of them already.
with flaming ears.
Oh my
Just
god!
arm in the
No,
I'll
right.
need these beta testers.
If there's no love seat mount,
There's gonna be a love seat.
I swear I become the president of SOE Live, and I will fire every single one of you.
Do you know, like on the back of an elephant or a camel?
No, wait, Locke. Is the love seat just going to be just the person, or is there going to be a virtual Omid next to you?
The love.
It's a couch that you sit on, and no needs next to you nodding constantly.
Omid's like, I didn't really say that.
The seat is there, but no one can ever sit in it.
Does it just like fly around like a Nan cat or something with rainbow coming out the back or something?
Yes.
Love hearts and
rains.
Oh, that's right. Beta testing will bring us
Raining
artwork.
tears and scotch down to the old growth forest.
So yes, you know how like in the back of elephants and stuff they have those big, huge crate-looking things that hold the actual saddle on that you sit on? Well, the XR mount's going to have a love seat strapped to the back of it that you can sit in, right? And it has scotch holders on the side.
That's weird.
Instead of an ammo belt, it's a Scotch shot holder.
Yeah.
Shot holder. But Oatwork is confirmed. Definitely gonna have to have Oatwork.
Yep, Oatwork. Yep. They're gonna suit him up in the what's it called to do mocap.
Yeah, Omid's gonna be wearing those green suits with the tennis balls all over his body.
Maybe. I mean, I've seen some pretty advanced systems where you don't even have to put a suit on anymore. So
we want him in the suit.
Yeah, I mean, I want him in the suit. I'm just saying, Sony with access to Sony Predict, movie pictures and all that stuff, and
they're not the
all
same
that
company.
fancy technology. They could be like, hey, let's borrow your studio for a moment so we can put this guy in a green suit with tennis balls.
Just imagine a behind the scenes developer diary. There's Terry Michaels and Jeff Butler going, "Hi guys, welcome to the developer," and Omid just rolls in a green suit with the dots all over it. It's like, hi. A cup of coffee or something.
Whether or not that happens,
guys.
I really hope Omid does that for a costume for SOE Live this year. Is just having the green screen suit with the tennis ball.
Just writes up like, hey guys, it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week.
Hi, Mrs. Wilk.
But
no, that's not roommate.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Wilk, roommate. Very close roommate. She likes to lick your ears.
Is there any other kind?
Six shades of red right now. All right, let's go ahead and move to our next question because we've sort of derailed so far now that we're never going to get
questions.
There was questions. We have 800 of them right now.
Technically, we still were on topic for the entire one, but we should move on to the next.
Let's go to one of the.
Codavos, what do you think about different colored costumes? Some are more expensive. We talked about that one. I feel like we can move on
from that.
Okay.
Coda, is that all right, mate? He's a cool guy. He'll understand.
Haven't seen this name before.
There's a cat on his head.
Fantagiro, Fantagear Zero.
Gyro?
Fantagear. I don't know.
What do you think about the wipe after closed beta? Where we only loose our claim, which gets templated, to keep all our mats and items we acquired. My opinion is this is very unfair to players who join after closed beta.
Well, we're not live yet, though, so it's not like all the mats we're keeping between closed beta and open are going to make a difference.
None of it matters until we go live, and there's plenty of time, even in open beta, for everyone to collect all the materials they want, get all the clean space they need to build whatever they want to get, be prepared for when the game goes live. I guarantee there will be plenty of time for that during the open beta. It isn't something where we're going to have an advantage. If anything, we're going to be at a disadvantage right now because we've been doing everything in the old style this time. But by the time closed beta and especially open beta comes around, the fly tool will be available. You won't have to build scaffolding and battle with the grappling hook. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now, you won't have to toil with in closed beta and then later in open beta. So it's, there's no disadvantage to starting later. You just aren't there to discover the stuff the first time. We have plenty of people working to discover the stuff. It's fine. It's all good.
Yep. The thing as well is you got to remember this: the game doesn't end once it goes live. You know, we'll go into open beta. It'll go straight into, you know, it'll be like open beta will basically be a soft launch while they'll still be implementing features and things. But 5 years down the line, you know, is it not fair on those players that, you know, pick up the game in 5 years on a friend's recommendation? Like, is it not fair on them that we're playing now? You know, it's not. We're so early. It's so early in development. Like, you know, just in terms of raw time, not even features. Like the things people are making now are incredible, but compared to what they'll be making by the time the game goes live,
Lincoln logs right now.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from the achievements of people is brilliant and amazing.
And people have done some amazing stuff, but just to get to this point, it's like, I guess it is like you take Lincoln logs, you build up an entire structure, and then you have to use fine like sanding tools and things to actually put it.
Yeah.
I imagine the amount of time and effort to do that would just be painstaking, especially somebody comes along, hey, I kick your Lincoln logs, and then basically claim wipe, and then you got to start from scratch.
And plus, as we said, what's unfair? I've said many a times on this stream, I'm not very good at building. There'll be someone that comes in during closed beta who's who's played a ton of building games and absolutely loves it and is incredible, and straight away comes in and their artistic and architectural vision totally blows away everything that I've done immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Is that unfair? Is that unfair on me? That they're just better at the game?
No, I talked about this in my stream today. I'm like, I think of myself as a fairly okay builder. I'm not. I mean, my stuff is okay. And then people are like, "Oh, Domo, I don't even want to get in this game because yours is just so awesome." I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right."
Oh, Domo, you're so awesome.
You're so good.
I love this.
You can touch me later. But anyway, what I was saying though is then I run around and I go, "Okay, guys, this is what is awesome," and I show these people these claims, and there's like that big statue with the nipple rings and everything, and I got
you compare that with different types as well. It's like there's the sort of raw kind of sculptural skill of the gatekeeperess, I believe is the official name, but then you get people like I'm sorry, Brad, I forgot the name of the town with the jumping challenge along the top all the kind of catacombs and everything.
It was the Oasis.
The Oasis, yeah, and then the Minis Tirith thing as well. Like that was a really early one, and just the proportion and the architectural skill and like just using angles to create the sense of scale of it was phenomenal, and something that I can't do. Anyway, we're probably getting off topic slightly.
No, but that's what I'm saying is those people blow me away. They're not. I mean, I'm not anywhere even close to them. And I was saying that in the stream today. It's like no matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody better. So go ahead and just have fun with the game. Don't worry about that. Your stuff is not the best. As long as you're not doing a crap shack like Reese likes to call them, and you're trying.
Like Toby over here.
And if you're trying, I think people could appreciate at least what you were trying to do, whether or not it looks perfect or not. I've seen some stuff that was just sort of like, they don't really have the building skills yet, but if you keep playing with it, you'll get the tools down. My very first build was literally a box with a hole in the front that was my door. That was it, because I didn't know how to build anything else. And now I'm getting better where I can do shapes and curves and all this other kind of stuff. And you just got to keep playing with the tools. It'll come around. All right, sorry, I'll stop. I'll shut up now. Yeah, Deep Sands Oasis. It was amazing.
Yeah, I suppose that's... How do you class unfair in this game, really, at the moment?
Nah.
It's a subject.
So don't worry. Just relax. It's cool.
Next question.
Just have fun, man. Just have fun. No one's racing for world firsts. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the next question from Zafira. How much would you personally spend to buy a player's template on Player Studio of tricky things like circular staircases or complex features? So we talked about that a little bit earlier. I guess maybe like the low end, the high end. I personally don't think I would spend more than like 500 station cash, and it would have to be something pretty monumental.
Yeah, I think that'd be.
Well,
although, as Snowman said earlier, that's assuming that I can fit it into my claim nicely and it's not going to mess it up. And I think if you can kind of scale it and everything, maybe something like a spiral staircase would be the type of thing that I'd buy with voxels. Like it's It's hard to say, isn't it? It depends what you're doing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I should
like,
probably.
For something like an outfit, something that was like 3D modeled, that was like a costume or something. If it was just like perfect, and if it was exactly like what I wanted for my character, I'd probably pay like, you know, how much Sony charges, like £8 or something. It's like however much that is in station cash.
Well, this is definitely like particularly about you know, voxel constructed sort of thing. So, you know, like I was saying earlier, you know, 50 cents I could see spending for columns, different parts of the columns, the top, the bottom, and the middle section, especially if they can be designed in such a way that they're fully modular, that I can, you know, buy 50 tops, 50 bottoms, 50 middles, and then have pretty much, you know, 50 cubed variety of columns that I can make at any given time. And that's, you know,
if you're buying, so you're going to buy 150 templates for $5 each.
I wouldn't necessarily do that, but I'm saying it would, if it was available, maybe if it was 150 total that I would get for like a package of 20 or something, I would do that of you know, 2000 station cash. You know, that would be reasonable. But that's going to be the really tricky thing, is how much of it they're going to allow us to bundle templates together into packages, or if everything is going to be individual, and, you know, how that stuff's going to work. They might even have to open up an entire marketing team that's specifically designed to working with people on Player Studio to make bundles of their awesome creations and stuff.
Yeah, I think bundles would make sense. That'd be quite cool. Or even, I wonder if Sony have plans to bundle stuff together. Like if there's like a really good pirate ship and a really good sort of coastal fort thing that would fit in with that theme, like whether they'd maybe offer them together for a reduced rate as like a subsidized advertised thing. I'm sure they've had all these ideas themselves in business meetings, but it'll be interesting to see how they do it. But I'm still of all the brilliant things that we've seen, I'm still waiting to see something made of voxels that are players made in game that I would spend money on.
Here's some next level shit now. So building something in a very specific way, but then designing the scripts and the AI patterns and stuff for the creatures so they can navigate that terrain, you know, absolutely perfectly, better than normal creatures being put in there would be able to do, because you've actually built custom paths for them that they'll try to use. You know, they'll jump from this block to this block where no creature would normally do that, unless it's like very, very surgical kind of circumstances that you're leading him there. So that would be the thing where, if I've got this giant labyrinth and this big minotaur that if you get close enough, it'll find its way through the labyrinth to you much faster than you'll be able to find your way out, and it's going to beat the shit out of you. So that's that's the sort of thing I'd love to see, and that would be something where I could see people actually paying for it, because at that point you've got something with, you know, extra special AI and extra special features that have been built into it, and the actual battle arena that it's designed for as well.
Yeah, I think something with interactive as well as aesthetic content. I think that could definitely be something worth putting money down for.
Especially when they put in all the different features. If they actually start doing like full D&D campaigns,
yeah,
you could definitely see people dropping serious money on those to go through them.
Think about this, is like, for me in my head, when they talk about like making a full MMO, this is what they're talking about. Like if you could take one person's D&D campaign and then another person's and just lay them on top of each other, and then another one and another one and another one, and just like you could create a world that way, just using bits and pieces from other people, like all the best things, and just whack them together, and then you call it EverQuest Next, and you make us you infect our dreams, and you make us believe again. Why, Sony?
All right, let's get moving. Yeah, let's move it on, because we got lots to go.
Okay, yeah. Codavos asks us, when do you think the wipe will be? He's basically asking, will it be the 31st, or maybe the patch on the 26th before it? I don't
Are we getting
think
a head start for closed beta as well?
I don't
as
think we're
open?
getting a head start for
think
closed.
so,
It's
no.
between
No.
closed and open that we
Yeah.
get a 48-hour.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
nice.
But
I'm pretty sure that's the sort of thing they don't necessarily even know. It might be one of those, like, let's see how far we get with the features. And that was actually something I kind of wanted to talk about a little early if we had time, but we didn't. But pretty much, we've gone 1 month from the beginning of the roadmap being posted. We're still in phase 1, but a lot of phase 1 has been complete. Some of the phase 1 stuff might potentially get pushed to phase 2, like the caves. But we're past, I guess, the 4 weeks that phase 1 was covering. So I don't know if phase 1 is going to kind of slop over another couple of weeks, or if phase 2 is going to begin soon, and then how phase 1 and phase 2 and all of that stuff is relative to when they're going to wipe and start closed beta. So there's really just so many variables with that. I don't even think they actually have a concrete answer.
well, just remember that the phases aren't periods of time. It's just stuff they want to complete first.
Right, but they've said that they're estimated to be about 4 weeks per phase. So
No,
Sure. How
they
long's a
said
piece of string?
in the 4 weeks
it's an
after
estimate.
phase 1 is completed, they're
That's
working
true.
on phase 2. So I mean,
that's true. So it could go for a little bit here.
but
Yeah.
one thing I really can't see is them entering a true closed beta before caves are introduced and the tiers below.
Yeah.
Because there just wouldn't be enough there. Because it had to have everything on the top level and everybody's joining in on closed beta, that just wouldn't work well.
Right. That's true.
We'd have to test it too. We'd have to get down there and find all the bugs, because it's taken us this long now to still find stuff
Yeah.
going wrong with the game, because they're still introducing new stuff into the game, and as they do, we find something wrong with it. So when they go and introduce caves, there's gonna be stuff wrong. We're gonna get stuck in the side of cave walls. We're gonna fall through the bottom of them. All sorts of stuff's gonna go wrong. So they need us to get in there and find that before they even think of going into the betas. So
Yeah. So, yeah, safe to say the answer on this one, no idea. There's no idea when they're actually going to start the closed beta.
Depending on when they introduce caves, though, I could definitely see them pushing it back a little bit. I mean, they've said it's a drop-dead date, but I could definitely see them pushing it back if they don't introduce caves soon enough.
because that means we'd have to have caves like next week.
Okay,
Which isn't
now
going to
here's,
happen. I think it'll probably be between open and closed beta for caves. I think.
here's a little bit of legalese they could probably pull out if they absolutely had to, is that everybody has closed beta permissions, but only the alpha people have access, and then they trickle in from permissions to access like they did with PlanetSide 2. That could be a way to trickle in the amount of people and keep people out for like the first 2 or 3 days of April if they have to. I hope they don't have to, and they probably won't need to, but if it ends up having to be that they have to push back the beginning of closed beta, that's kind of an artificial way to use legalese to do it.
We'll see.
Next question.
Next question. Bad Viking 82. Do you think they will do an in-game currency exchange like in Guild Wars 2?
For what? For what? Like turning gold
Like,
into SC?
The idea is through the market you can buy it. It's like the EVE Online Plex thing. You can buy a currency that you can sell to other players through the marketplace. Like in EVE, you sell it directly as a thing to another player, whereas in Guild Wars 2, it's like the marketplace handles the exchange.
Gems to gold, gold to gems. Yeah.
I think for me, it makes sense. You can buy resources, you can sell them on the market. If they don't do it through the game, players will work out their own way of doing it.
Gold farmers. That's pretty much what I would think. They should do it just to help curtail gold farmers. Part of the reason why Napster was so successful is because there just wasn't a paid digital distribution media. Once those became available, people with money was like, sure, I'll pay to legally own this music rather than illegally, accessing it because I want the music. I don't care about, So it's the same sort of thing here. I think about is that people are, if they're willing to pay for, station cash for gold and vice versa, that just giving them a legitimate method is far better than not, and having them try to figure it out on themselves and then creating this black market infrastructure that they have to ban people for.
Well, Reese, there's still going to be people gold farming, regardless on what you do with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
But
Though I do believe Guild Wars 2 at one point actually were more competitive than the gold farmers in selling gold through the marketplace. Like if you bought the gems and converted it to gold, you got a better rate than the gold farmers. And that, you know, if you're gonna beat gold farmers, that's the way to go about it. You know, just price them out. Brilliant. In a free-to-play game as well, the economy is going to be so tightly controlled that hopefully, that's why I think players will do it anyway. Gold farmers will exist anyway. You know, SOE might as well be getting a cut of it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next question. MRSA0413. Oh, it's Pi Day, everybody. It's at least here in the States and other places where we go.
It's not 3.14 in in England.
We do month, day, year because we're silly, but day, month, year, it's just the 14th day of the third month of the year, and it's nothing special.
Isn't it? It's 2015 where it's going to be True Pi Day.
What the hell?
Let the Americans do their thing. All right. We're
archaic, ancient Roman calendar.
Hashtag
I bet you still
gold.
use the imperial system as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'd rather just
hashtag
go
gold
with
for the next race.
metric time.
You people over in Europe are still pretty dodgy. You use things like miles and stuff like that, and ounces as well. You still haven't converted.
Stone. Yeah, I love the stone weight measurement.
Oh,
Shut up, or we'll
that's
round you all up on a
ridiculous.
boat and take you to a desert
I'm
island.
17 stones.
Yeah, where we do things right. We start over again and do it the right way instead of thousands of years of doing it wrong.
Okay.
This could go in a bad direction.
We all hate the British. It's just the way it is. Let's move on.
I love it when the colonists get uppity.
Yeah. See how well we're doing? See how well we're doing over here? Huh?
Anyway, so here's the actual question from MRSA0413. Happy Pi Day. Question: do you know if they're going to be any collectible outfits that will only be sold in Alpha? I don't think they're going to have any outfits that are exclusive to Alpha. The only ones there will probably be the Trailblazer and the other Founder Pack stuff. And yeah, I could see those being exclusive. They probably will be, and it'll be nice when I can dye them the colors that I want. But you know, that's what
you got
we'll
4.
see. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I was wrong. We don't hate the British. We hate the French. Sorry about that.
Sacre bleu!
They think they own culinary.
Stop
art.
it. I actually have a couple real French people that watch this show, so we can be nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
My brother and I have been having this back and forth about, like, we see everything in America about, like, French culinary and all of that development, but all the books and stuff don't really mention, like, Eastern culinary development at all, and all of the things, like, all the things that were discovered and everything are in the context of the Western discoveries, never mentioning any of the Eastern discoveries of the same things that might have happened before.
All right. We're getting off track.
Getting a little bit, yeah.
Merde.
It's the same with North
Next
African
question.
philosophy as well.
Next
If you want
question.
to predates a lot of them.
Omid just hold on real quick. Omid just confirmed that's right. The Trailblazer Explorer are the only limited edition things we're planning. Not guaranteeing we won't do them, but probably doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
All right. So
Just from a business standpoint, you know, it doesn't make sense to do too much.
We just offended half of our audience or more.
We did. There's so many people.
Well, who we offended?
We had 800 people watching. We're down to like 200 now.
Because we started going next to Frenchies.
Next question can hopefully redeem this. This is a question. I'm going to pass this question to you, Stackus. Who is Snowman Wilkie?
Why would you pass that to Stackus?
This would be funny.
I guess right
here. It would make more
Snowman
sense.
Wilkie is an unbearded warrior based on a real person, based on a fictional character that cannot stop consuming Stewart's soda.
Nice.
All right?
In a nutshell, get the audio
Product
book
placement.
if you're a local news agent.
So you prefer that over Jones soda?
We have Black Bear up here also.
Where is here? Wait, I don't even know where he lives, Snowman.
I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's not too far from me. Look, guys, you got to be following me to win. I roll this thing and it comes up with you not following me. I'm not allowed to give you the code.
Oh, man. There was a giveaway at SOE Live last year, and the name Heather came up twice on the giveaways. It was funny. They weren't there for either one.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry.
Oh, well.
Continue on.
All right. So, man, tell us more. Or is that it?
That's what I had prepared.
That was a
we
beautiful.
should
That's
move on to another question.
All
He's
right.
he's vice president of Sony Online Entertainment and he's a senior designer and producer of EverQuest Next. There you go. That's his
Now a bunch of people are following me. Thank you.
All right.
So next.
Why would they do that?
All right.
Because they want to
next
win one of these
question.
codes.
MTG Gamer Geek. Why buy dice from the marketplace in EQ1? You can make dice that allow you to pick any color, because EQ1 didn't start with a free-to-play model. It started subscription-based. So they got their money from your subscription, and they didn't need to extract wealth from other things to keep the game going and keep paychecks going to everybody.
When they had the meeting, that was like, a lot of people on the forums are saying we should just reskin EQ1 and release that. They decided against it. They decided to make a new game. So that's why.
Yeah. I don't
Sorry.
mean to be.
I
indignant
don't mean
about
to be
that,
sarcastic. But obviously,
Yeah.
But you just naturally are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
that's
can't-
just how
I
the
can't-
answer to that one came out. Sorry. It's just how it is.
That's just the way it is. Although I do agree that being able to craft dies would be an interesting system.
Yeah.
I think having that as a crafting profession, I think is a good
I mean,
idea.
that could be the thing, is you have to either find or purchase the recipe to make the color of dye that you want, and then you have to go get the materials and craft it, or they could get really convoluted with it. Anyway, next question, Tyroline. If/when they introduce pets, which should be Phase 5, which animal would you choose to be your pet?
A Tobran.
So Brad.
Tobran.
A wild Tobran.
I can just imagine that now we've got like a horde of people who's gonna be me, dress like me, have the same name as me, and then there's gonna be an army of miniatures with them. It's gonna be terrifying.
And a statue.
Right?
They're like
Little
beehive
halflings
Tobrans.
that
Oh,
look
Jesus.
exactly like Tobran, just running around going Jaffa cake, Jaffa cake.
And I want
But they've got to say,
Hell
they've got to
yeah.
say it. They've got to say it in a Scottish accent. It's Jaffa cake. I can't say it. I don't know how you say. How you
I
say
want
it.
my
Wait,
character
and-
to be able to have an influence spell that I can cast in an area and make them all /Onod at the exact same time.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be like mob/Onod.
We
They're all just
killed
like
Tobran. Look, he's dead.
Yeah, apparently.
Stop
Eat
it.
a Jaffa. Eat a
They
Jaffa,
all have
Tobran. It'll be
carrying
okay.
a
Eat a
spear
Jaffa.
that has a Jaffa cake on top of it too.
yes,
Yes.
like they've
Yeah.
just
Oh my God.
like on one end, or like they've just speared a Jaffa cake. Like they've just gone out and hunt their own Jaffa
Yeah.
cakes.
Yeah.
Jaffa cake.
Well, Jaffa cakes with spears, that makes sense.
Mm.
Oi,
Uh,
We
Jaffa
killed him.
cake.
We killed the Tobran.
Look at that! There's a mini squadron of Jaffas over there. Let's go get them.
A squadron.
It's a mob. It's a Tobran mob. They're coming for you.
Now look
Quick.
what you're doing to the poor boy. You give him. Look, we
Think
got him
through
eat all
it.
this
All your
candy and
Jaffas.
cookies.
They only
There
want your
was
Jaffas.
So if we're all unanimous on what pet we want, a Tobran, we can
Yeah.
move on to the next
All
question.
right, that's a good one.
That's
such.
that's
uh,
that-
We need to get
there
Snowman
is-
Wilkie back every week. He keeps us on track. Let's go.
Yes.
Thanks
No,
for the
actually,
follow.
not my real dad.
the pet that I would want to have is like the flying snails that shoot lasers from Terraria. If anyone remembers those things are mean.
No, I don't.
Actually, now I'm trying to think of what his name is.
One of those parrots
The
that
gastropod?
can't fly. One of those parrots that
Parrot that
can't
can't
fly,
fly.
but sometimes think that they can when they're scared.
Oh, the little
Dodo?
green
So they'll
ones.
they'll want to be in the trees, so they climb trees using their beaks and their claws, and they climb up to the top. But then if anything startles them, they'll try and fly away because they think they can, and they just go. That's the pet that I want.
So it's almost like a fainting goat, except the bird version.
Fainting
Um,
goat.
Pretty neat.
No, it's just they ended up in it's like a weird evolutionary thing where they lost the power of flight physically before they lost the reaction mentally because there's no predatory pressure on them, so they're not they're very rarely in that sort of scared mode. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's
Biology.
funny. All right. Brad Power asks, are you concerned about the limited international access to Player Studio? For example, they've mentioned UK availability. What about countries like Canada that have had no mention? They'll probably have Canada before they have UK. They're trying to get it international to all regions they support by the time the game launches, so there will be no limitation for everyone. They've even taken it a step further. From what I understand, they've said no to ProSieben, and they're actually going to handle stuff internationally, so there isn't any legal problems with Player Studio stuff.
Cool. It's a lot of it's just like basic legal things between like the European Union and the the US. It's just a boring international economic tax law. It's got nothing. It's so annoying, and they need to sort it out. Those people,
those guys,
all the fucking fascists that we keep electing to the European Parliament for some reason. I apologize, Europe.
Wow.
I apologize. No, literally, the UK
Are they really
fascists into the European Parliament.
Are they singing Deutschland, Deutschland über alles? What's going on?
Well, it's basically like the racist parties that like they run campaigns like, we're not racist, but
we'd like to see all non-white people
dead. Start the conversation. The red flag goes up, and you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're the people that get elected. Anyway, let's move on.
So, next question, Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky.
Do you think a freestyle selection would be feasible in the game, like a connect the dots in Windows Paint?
I hear a vibrator or something. What's this?
No, that's. Bear with me 2 secs. The guy next door has just decided now's a perfect time to use his chainsaw.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning there, isn't it?
No, it's like
being attacked by wombats.
There are wombats. They square poop.
If only he was. No, the guy. Give me a sec. Hang on.
It's okay. It's fine.
So I don't know if they're talking about like a
Shut up!
So
a fancy selection tool, like a you'd have
He doesn't have any trousers on.
That's exactly what they're talking about, Reese.
Awesome.
But,
Telling his neighbor with no.
I mean, I've talked about like I'd love to have a magic wand where I can just select only the material of one type, and then do whatever I want with that. So that's the sort of thing I'd love to be able to see is like a really freeform selection tool for sure. Whether it's feasible or not.
But is it gonna? But if they did something like that, would it be that you could do curves too, or what? Because that's going to be a lot of development if they do something like that.
That's the part that would be difficult. I think it's the sort of thing where you'd still have to define the general shape, because all it's going to be doing is grabbing microvoxels and voxels, or I guess they aren't really. It's voxels in whatever form they are, and just copying and pasting them one to one. So you probably still need to create your own curves ahead of time. You really love that Geekdomo.
Well, he's not wearing any pants.
No, I'm not. I don't care.
And he's yelling at a guy and it was a chainsaw. Oh my God.
That's pretty funny.
Let me tell you.
Domo, he's not in Russia. The guy with the chainsaw isn't going to come after him.
Swiping it.
You have no idea how hot it is in this room.
I can imagine.
It's not the fact you're not wearing pants. It's how you just went and yelled at a guy with a chainsaw with no pants on.
This is why
he's mental.
To the desert.
He's look. No. The reason the guys like that are why we're here. He's mental. It'll be like midday. It'll be 40 degrees, and the prick will be out there on his hands and knees with a pair of scissors trimming his lawn. Level.
Oh my God.
Like, seriously, the guy is mentally deranged. He has issues.
It's so fucking hot there. Your brains are getting cooked.
And he's out there, and it's like it's now 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just trying to figure out how hot it is, but it's got to be at least early 30s out there. Like out in the no cloud, completely blue sky. And he's out there with a fucking chainsaw trimming his little hedges.
Oh, I mean, when you gotta get that burled wood, you gotta get that burled wood.
Yeah, but he's.
No, it's a shrub. It's not even a giant tree. He won't get burled wood.
Oh well, that's for him to figure out. So we've got
Oh my
maybe
God, I haven't laughed that hard in so long.
another question or so before we I don't know how much
Don't
longer, but
apologize.
we've
That was the
got.
best part of the show
think
by
that's a
far.
perfect place to end it.
So
Sorry about that.
Why?
yeah, that was
About him. I'm not sorry about me getting up and yelling at him.
No,
I'm sorry
okay.
about him being a twat.
I can barely hear it, actually. I just heard kind of like a little tiny buzzing. I was like,
Cha-
No, I
Chaos
had to
Lord.
Mm.
Chaos Lord Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Whee.
Yes,
All right.
was someone debating about the fact that 30 degrees Celsius. So like, I don't know what that was. That high
86
90s.
Fahrenheit.
Low,
Yeah.
There you go, 80s, like high 80s.
I mean, body temperature is like 27 something, isn't it?
No,
No, 38.6
38?
around-
Ah,
or 38.1. Sorry, is normal for body temperature.
40 is pretty damn hot.
40. If you're 40 and you're a really high fever if you have 40. Oh my god! All right, so the word is chainsaw.
Yeah.
For the
All
word,
right.
this will be the last one we're giving away. It's
All right,
hashtag
let's move on to the
chainsaw.
questions, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gamer Girl Power asks us, do you think the game will ever evolve that we will be able to modify props, like deleting one of the limbs off of a tree? Things like props, it would definitely have to be done outside of the game. It'd have to be versions of the prop that they've got, that they give us access to. If they're going to do something like that with a tree where we can just cut off any of the limbs or whatever, even if it's just one specific part of the limb that we can cut from, that would still mean every tree is the base tree and whatever stuff you can't cut off, and all of the things you can cut off pretty much being added onto it. Or otherwise, it would be basically it'd almost be like different frames of that, like an animation that you're just...
Reese.
What's up?
Take it from a different perspective. Instead of lopping off a limb, how about just having modular props?
Well, yeah, that would,
You could have different tree bases, add different limbs wherever you want. That would probably be more feasible than lopping off the limb or a section of an existing prop.
it seems like it'd be really difficult to have everything seamless.
Yeah.
Because that would be the tough thing, is I think getting everything to line up perfectly, even if you're doing it in like a 3D build modeling program and setting it up that way. If somebody wants to use a different anything with another part of a tree, like they want to use a tree from or the base from tree 1 and the middle of tree 2, it's not going to line up unless I don't know what they'd be able to do for that sort. So it would have to be a sort of thing where if you're building a modular tree, it would be like maybe just one per biome, and then give it enough variety that someone can do anything with it.
Exactly.
I think it's that point, isn't it, where SOE have got to decide where the cutoff is, like how compartmentalized can they make the props and still be, still not take too much development time away. So I guess the question is actually modifying them though in game. That's probably for props, probably not, but there'll be support for third-party stuff, won't there? So we'll be making our own props sooner or later, won't we? How's that for modifying?
There you go. All right. Do we want to do any more questions?
No, I think we're done.
Just now.
Still choking on the tears.
Thank you,
I always
everybody,
feel so
for
bad
asking
with
questions.
so many.
Yeah, we really appreciate the questions.
Yes.
Who
What?
thinks Lot will be here next week or somewhere in a basement dungeon? That's a good question.
No, sorry about this. I was laughing so hard I forgot to mention that Krona won the previous grappling code I got. Well, I'm doing the last one right now. I was laughing so hard I just thought I missed it. All right, let's go around the room. Tell us where you're from, what your channels are on the internets, where people can find you and all that, and then I'll finish up at the end here. Let me do this last code.
Tobran, let's start with you.
Yeah, Tobran, go first.
Okay. My name is Tobran Irnwood. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TobranIrnwood, where I do a weekly show showing the top 5 claims of the week, but I didn't do one this week because I'm a terrible person, and also EQN Top, where I round up all of the weekly news for EQN and EQN Landmark. I also stream fairly regularly with some random stuff, so you can see that at twitch.tv/TobranIrnwood, and follow me on Twitter at TobranIrnwood, and I think that's it.
Okay. Let's just go clockwise. Luck. What's you up to?
My name's Tobran Irnwood. I have a YouTube channel, YouTube/Tobran Irnwood. You can follow me on Twitter at Tobin Ernwood, and I also stream fairly regularly, just random stuff. You can follow me at Tobin Ernwood.
All right, Tobin Ernwood.
Tobin Ernwood. The wood you can trust.
The wood you can trust.
Oh God.
All right.
Oh God, no.
So I'm.
It's better than Viagra.
Why?
Tobin Tuesdays will be a thing. I'm telling you that right now.
Yes, Tobin Tuesday.
Stackers called it. It has to be a thing.
Over Tuesdays.
Right.
All I
So,
want.
continuing along, I'm Legendary Neurotoxin. You can find me on Twitter at Legendary Neuro. You can find me here on Twitch at Legendary Neurotoxin. Just type my name in the bar up there, and you can find me. And my blog is legendaryneurotoxin.blogspot.com. You can find all of my broadcasts, all my shows, all that good stuff over there. So check it out. And Snowman, what's you up to?
I'm basically on Twitch at ANALEINX. Yeah, it's a weird.
Can you put
Twitch
it in the
handle.
chat?
Put something in chat.
But with what I'm doing, I'm mostly one of the people that run around with Domo and EQ1. I don't know if he explained to everybody why we didn't stream this week, but it was something really weird that happened, I guess.
I'll explain it.
Yeah, and
I was going to do it when it come back around to me.
Of course, the character that I'm in that is not Tobrin.
Yep, he's not Tobrin, not Ernwood.
Not yet. It's not Tuesday.
All right,
This
Mr.
is the
Stockus.
real reason I want to be able to
Hey,
change my
Stockus.
name up well.
Yep. Okay, so I'm Sergeant Stackers everywhere, pretty much. On Twitch here, Sergeant Stackers. On Twitter, at Sergeant Stackers. I think that's it. You can catch me with the Domo on the Geekdomo channel as well, usually in there telling people
He's the
to
one.
touch themselves in various places. Support the Bearded Warriors.
Yeah, you talk about your stream. You do a stream? Like
Yeah, stream. I stream. I've been streaming the Star Citizen Hangar a bit lately because a lot of people still have a lot of questions about it. So usually at least once or twice a week, I'll try and stream that, answer people's questions while I run around do stupid shit in my hangar. Just bought Titanfall, so although I know there's been a Titanfall over sensory load of that, I'm going to be streaming a bit of that later. It's probably today, later on, at some point.
me
Squash some people.
Seriously, follow all these people except Locke. Yeah, the reason Stockus
Good
is
advice.
showing
Good
off his
advice.
hanger is Stockus has a significant hanger, ladies. Significant.
When it comes to the EP, I'm hung.
Yes, he's got like 400 ships in there. So
Not
he's also the person who donated the stack of ships that we're giving away every week on our other show. So Stockus is the man, and he screams at people in chainsaws with the way
Yeah.
pants on. Yep.
He's still going.
I hear that. Don't just let it go. It's okay. don't attack him or anything. All right, real quick with me, a couple of things. So, first off, it is the 15th anniversary of EverQuest 1 this Sunday. Make sure you guys keep a track of the EverQuest Twitter. And I think they're going to be doing some other things. They might be doing giveaways. I don't know. Maybe we can clarify some of that stuff. But this Sunday is the day it all started for our EverQuest franchise. And all of us here are in some way impacted by that. And so I think it's a really cool thing. So along those lines, what happened this week? If anybody in the chat right now is familiar with a guy named Jesse Cox, myself, what's the other guy's names? Kiori and his
Perna,
buddy.
no?
What's that?
Just two other guys.
Yeah, some random guys.
No, they're not random guys. They're actually huge YouTubers, and I just can't remember their names right now. I'm having a mental block. Anyway, we all got together. We played a little bit of EverQuest 1. My video should be coming out tomorrow night, maybe. I have to put it in for submission, get approved, and then it'll be coming out. It's going to be coming out, and we also have I have a narration done by Trendane. If those of you are familiar with Trendane, he's going to be narrating it. So it's going to be pretty cool, and that video should be coming out very shortly, hopefully by the time for Sunday. If not, it'll be Monday or Tuesday at the latest. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming, and thanks for all the new followers. Really, really appreciate it. Krendor. Yes, thanks, Arm Gears. You helped me with that earlier today. Krendor.
Wow, how did you forget Crendor?
I know.
I know.
I'm serious. I think I had like a partial seizure when I started laughing so hard there. So yes, Jesse Cox, Krendor, Kiori, and myself being the guide, took them through a little bit of EverQuest 1. We basically try to play a game that takes about 3 or 4 years to play in about 3 hours.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'll take you to task there, Mr. Geekdomo.
Yeah.
I believe if you watch a series on my channel called Party Like It's 1999, you can see myself and Mr. Tobin Elmwood complete EverQuest in about 20 minutes. What was it?
Yep.
Tobin?
You won EverQuest.
It was
Yeah.
a meteoric rise to number 1 and 2 world ranked.
Yeah.
Is that the 15 minutes to load in and then the 5 minutes to watch Tobin drown?
Yes.
Because I still
basically
think that
every time Tobin drowned, I absorbed some of his power.
Some of his energy.
right, because there can only be one. That's
Yeah,
right.
but
In 15
then
years,
Locke
no
lost
one
all
else
that
worked.
power when he casted that one song in his Bard Guild and everybody killed him.
Oh yeah, he did the AOE.
That's. I'm sorry, Snowman, if you don't understand the sort of technical aspects of it, but that's when you're right on the sort of bleeding edge of progression. In a real when you're a real hardcore MMO player, when you sort of when you take it seriously, then maybe.
when you're sitting in your crushed up box in the corner of Safeways playing with crushed Coke cans, making your own MMO on the bleeding edge.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a hardcore MMO.
That is. And on that bombshell, it's time to end the show. All right, everybody.
All right.
Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody. Thanks for Snowman Wilk for about 3 seconds before the show started, just jumping in and having a good time. It's good. It's good having you here. We'll definitely have you back at some other time down the road here. All right. So yeah, the servers are still down apparently for the hotfix. So I don't have any word on when they're coming back up. So hopefully shortly. Thanks everybody, and make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you follow the Bearded Warriors. Matter of fact, it's a bit.ly/beardwar BEARDWAR. Go there. You can hit one button and follow all of us at once. Thanks everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you next time into the portal.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Not wearing any pants. No. Good night.